So you're quite vocal with B2B about wanting to build in public. Why do you want to build in public? What does that mean? If you could just elaborate
Yeah,
on that.
totally, totally. So I came across the concept of building in public from a number of other people that I've seen doing it. Um, and I think it's really powerful. I love the transparency behind it. I mean, there's a lot of aspects to this. Um, One is that when I started Teranga, just to be honest about it, I kind of just needed something that was going to make me money. Like I was leaving my job and I just needed something that was going to make me money. So it's very much about grinding and about finding something that would, that was the primary goal of Teranga. Initially, we've moved on now, so it's quite different now. We're thinking more about the long term and so on and so forth. We've got a great leadership team who kind of run the day to day of that business. I'm actually not that involved on a day to day basis. But initially, I'll be very honest in saying like it was there to try and make me money because I was leaving my job and I needed to eat. The benefit I have now with B2B is that I'm able to think, what do I want this business to be in 5 and 10 years time, or even longer? And I'm thinking more about that long-term impact, and I'm able to have that long-term mentality, which is really, really exciting. So I've seen a lot of people building in public, but what I've typically noticed is that people tend to kind of wait until they're quite a successful business already. And then they start talking about, okay, we hit 10 million ARR this year, and now we've taken it to 20 million and so on. And they're still very courageous, and I think it's awesome. But I haven't really seen people in the sort of, like I said, ordinary business space, like B2B business space, who are building a normal business from scratch in public. So right from day one, we've been very transparent about everything that we're doing, the revenue numbers that we're hitting, where those. So, for example, a few months ago, I did a breakdown of all of our leads so far since we launched the business in February of this year, where the leads have come from, which ones have led to revenue, how much revenue we've generated, and so on. So, from day one, we've just been very open with what we're doing. And there's really two reasons for that. One is I think it's really valuable for people. So I think it's really useful, and I think people really resonate with the transparency. And there's an element of like putting your neck on the line there. I call myself a growth nerd or like a growth advisor or specialist. If I can't grow my business, then you shouldn't work with me. Do you know what I mean? So
Exactly.
there's an element I think people like that you're putting your neck on the line, and then sharing transparently what's working for us. And there's always the invitation there that, this is working for us. Do you want us to help you do this as well? But also there's a bunch of people who are never going to be a good fit to work with us. And actually, I'm just giving them the information away for free. And so it's about having that legacy and that long-term impact. And it's something I know we've talked about a lot internally as a team as well. The growth aspect is one thing, but we intend to kind of really go to the next level in terms of our transparency and our building in public. So we want to talk about how we're running our company, our mission and our values, how we're working as a fully remote team, as an example, and some of the things that we're using, the sort of workflows, processes and stuff like that, because I think it's really valuable. I also think it's a really good marketing strategy. So I think this will help us to grow long term. But the primary reason is to share that information and be just very transparent about it as we go.
Can you tell me a little bit about the company that you're trying to build? So, what is your kind of vision for the company as a whole?
Yeah, great question. So I actually put this in writing and we discussed it as a team this week, and it will be shared publicly shortly, probably in the next few days, probably before this video comes out, actually, in fact. So you might have seen it by now if you're watching this. The mission statement is to impact 1 million businesses and help them grow. So that's like the high level vision. The main ways we'll do that is three main ways. So the firstly is hands-on one-to-one growth services. So working with businesses one-on-one to help them grow, taking a kind of ownership mentality and potentially taking ownership stake in the business, whether that's revenue share or even equity in businesses. That's the first one. The challenge with that is you can't work with that many businesses at a time, right? So you need to find a way to impact more companies. So the second strand is about providing world-class education and content and information, and then helping people, coaching people to apply it to their businesses. So that's the sort of done with you model. And then the third part is giving back as well. So partnerships with great non-for-profit organizations who are supporting businesses and entrepreneurs in places that need it. So whether that's in kind of developing parts of the world, or whether it's in underrepresented groups of people in the business space. And I believe with those three strands, it gives us the reach to be able to have a really significant impact over the next 5, 10, 20 years. And we've set the goal of 1 million businesses. I don't know, could be more if you look at all of those three together.
Amazing. Okay,